Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to get into something really cool, a totally different way of thinking about music called channel music. It's this idea that you're not just writing songs, you're actually painting with sound. So let's jump right in.
So, let me just start by throwing a big question at you. Can music be a painting? And I don't mean a song that's, about a famous painting. I mean, can the music itself, the sounds and the words, become the canvas, the colors, the whole experience? Just kind of let that question hang in the air for a bit as we go through this. All right, so to even begin to answer that, we have to get a handle on the main concept here. What in the world is a sound painting? Let's dig into how music can be way more than just something you listen to. The artists behind all this described it in a really simple but powerful way. They said it is an emotional sound painting. And that word right there, emotional, that's the absolute key. This whole thing isn't about showing off technical skills. It's about using sound to build an entire world, an atmosphere, right inside your own head.
Okay, so what does that actually mean? Well, think of it this way. The goal is to get beyond the simple, literal meaning of the words. The sounds, the instruments, all of it. They're just raw materials. They're basically handed over to you, the listener, so that you can be the one to build your own meaning and create your own visuals from them. So you might be wondering, how is this stuff even made? And this, for me, is where it gets really, really interesting. Let's get into our next section and check out how technology, artificial intelligence, ends up being the paintbrush for these emotional landscapes. This really breaks it down. On one side, you've got your traditional songwriter. They're usually telling you a story from beginning to end, right? A clear plot. They're telling you what's going on. But on the other side, the AI-assisted sound painter, they're focused on creating these little sensory moments, these abstract images in your head. It's the difference between being told a story and being invited to actually feel and experience for yourself. And it's so important to see AI as more than just a tool here. It's really a creative partner. It can analyze musical patterns to stir up really specific feelings, like nostalgia or total euphoria. It can also smash together completely different styles of music, like imagine an old Celtic harp playing over a heavy rock beat. And it creates lyrics that are more like abstract art, all about suggestion and imagery instead of just telling you a story. Okay, let's zoom in on those lyrics for a minute. That brings us to the art of word painting. This is all about how you can use words, but not in a straight line, to give the listener this huge cinematic feeling. A lot of the time, it comes down to something called the atomic songwriter technique. And it's actually a pretty simple idea. First, you just give the AI a single word. That's it. From there, the AI spits out this whole web of related, powerful phrases. Then the artist steps in and arranges those phrases, not to tell a story, but to create these little poetic snapshots, these flashes of imagery. And what do you get when you do that? You get music that cares way more about mood than it does about plot. It builds this rich, cinematic space where your own imagination has room to just